Have you ever finished reading an LNAT passage and wondered what the author was actually trying to say? Finding the main purpose is one of the most critical skills in the whole of Section A. Here is the direct answer. The main intent of a passage is the author's primary objective, their central idea. It is the core message they want to convey, or the argument they wish to make. In Section A, you will frequently meet questions that ask you to identify this main intent or purpose directly, but its value goes further than that. Understanding the bigger picture is essential for answering almost every other question accurately. Grasp the author's overall purpose, and the individual questions start to make sense as pieces of one argument miss it, and even simple questions can suddenly feel confusing and open to doubt. So how do you find it? The first tip is to read the passage carefully. Do not skim or rush. Give yourself enough time to comprehend the text fully, or you may miss the nuances that reveal the true intent. Second, look for the thesis statement. This is usually the main point the author wants to make, and it is often found in the introduction, the conclusion, or sometimes both. Locating it gives you a clear indication of the purpose. Third, pay attention to the structure. Look for headings, subheadings, or topic sentences that summarize the main points. And notice how the author organizes their ideas and steadily builds their argument. Fourth, identify the key terms and phrases. When an author repeats or emphasizes certain words, those terms are rarely accidental. They often point straight to the central idea and the real focus of the passage. Fifth, consider the tone and style. A persuasive tone usually means the author is trying to convince you of a particular viewpoint, while a more neutral tone suggests they are simply presenting information for you to weigh. Let me show you how this works with a short example. Imagine a passage on the growing global demand for energy, which lists solar, wind, and hydroelectric power, then insists the long-term benefits outweigh the short-term challenges. A weak reader might say the purpose is only to give an overview of renewable sources, or just to discuss the challenges. But the passage clearly argues for the benefits of reducing our reliance on fossil fuels. That final judgment is the true intent. Take a second example, about children who exercise regularly, performing better academically. It could look like a simple explanation of the benefits of activity, but the passage insists that schools and parents must prioritize it. That word, must, is your clue. The author is not merely describing a link. They are arguing for the importance of prioritizing physical activity, both in schools and at home, recognizing that shift is exactly the skill Section A rewards. Now compare a third passage about the rise of social media. It weighs instant communication and a global audience against cyberbullying, privacy invasion, and misinformation without landing firmly on either side. Here, the intent is different again. The author is not arguing for or against social media. They are exploring the benefits and the drawbacks together. Reading the tone carefully stops you from choosing a stronger, more one-sided answer that the text never supports. Notice the pattern across all three. The tempting wrong answers are usually too narrow, describing just one part, or too strong, claiming an argument the author never actually made. The right answer captures the whole purpose, and only the whole purpose. This is why identifying the main intent underpins so much of your accuracy. Once you know what the author is really doing, you can test every option against that purpose and confidently eliminate the ones that do not fit. So when you take practice tests, make it a firm habit. Every time you read a new passage, before you even glance at the options, pause and ask yourself what the author's central purpose truly is. Do this often enough and it becomes automatic. You will read each passage with the bigger picture already in mind, and the questions on purpose and intent will feel far more straightforward under exam pressure. Master this skill on LawMint's free full-length LNAT practice tests at lawmint.uk. When you are ready, unlock our full series of 200 full-length tests with 8,400 multiple-choice questions. And do not forget to subscribe to @LNAT Prep on YouTube for more.